Hi, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here, and today I'm back at the park, and it's sunny, and there's a little breeze, but it's not too bad. But I got the E-flite Fw 190 out here. I made an adjustment on the push rod, and I even did a real quick trim flight, and of course, like everybody always says, you always go too far the other way. So now I got my trim set all the way the other direction, but we should be able to get a really nice flight in. Even with my trim adjusted all the way, it's flying pretty good now. So let's get this thing in the air and see how it does. All right, we got one click on the flaps, throttle cut off, full up elevator to get it rolling. Easing off the elevator. A nice lift. All right, flaps off. And before we crank her up, we'll get the gear up. We'll do it on this pass. About half throttle. There they go and up. There you go. On my quick trim flight, I never got the gear up. So hopefully that didn't throw my trim off too bad. That sun is bright. Having a squint. Let's keep it the upwind here so that I'm not looking into the sun. And see the wind mess with it just a little bit. The wind is actually coming from the tree, I think. Maybe at this angle. Well, that looks nice and straight. Maybe just a hair roll to the right. There's just enough wind. I'm not going to mess with that because I don't remember that being a problem last time. That was a pretty good roll. Not a lot of drop. And I don't want to do a lot of inverted. I did do just a little bit of inverted when I was trying to make my trim adjustment just to make sure it wasn't climbing upside down. But that looks really smooth. I have my battery centered right on the tray, if you guys are interested in that. I'm flying with the 6S 5000 Gen 1 Smart Pack by Spectrum. I did fly for about a minute, and I think I definitely can get a 5-minute flight for you guys. So I reset the timer. I am just using just a tiny bit of the elevator when it rolls upside down. This pass will do a loop. A little bit off center and really cranking on the elevator to make sure I made it out of it. We're making a lot of right turns here, so let's come down this end. We'll take a left, turning out away from me. If you guys ever go to events when there's a lot of people flying, they usually have a set pattern they want you to do, like a right to left down the runway. And if not, what I always try to do is when I make my turns, I will try to turn out away, because you never know when the airplane's gonna lose signal or anything like that. So I like to turn away from the crowd instead of turning in towards them. I'll kind of like do a slight angle on to get to the inside, and then I'll turn out, kind of a figure 8 when there's a crowd around. But if you're in a pattern, there's not much you can do about it. Boy, I've gotten it really high. Let's lower this back down. We'll let that, we don't want to get too close to that tree, so I let it climb up. Playing the throttle a little bit. Let's go a full speed pass here. Woo! As soon as I turned with the wind, the wings rolled quite a bit. Here we go, coming in, stealth pass. Not very stealthy. This one makes quite a bit of noise with the prop spinning with the wind. And I think it has something to do with that fan that's inside the cowl. You know, this airplane is supposed to have some scale detail to it, and one of them being the fan that I think in the Warbird is designed to cool the engine. Really straight roll there. You know, I was going almost full speed and it didn't lose hardly any altitude. This pass will lower the gear. Look good. And I'm actually gonna, it feels like the wind's coming a little bit more from the field than the tree, so we'll get down here in the sun a little bit. There we go, one click on the flaps, trying to level those wings back out. Carrying a little bit of speed as I bring it in. I don't want to drop too fast. There we go. What a beautiful landing. I let it get out there just a little ways. It's probably a good 50 feet from me or more. Or 50 yards even, maybe. Maybe not quite that far. But boy, that wind just picked up. Hopefully I can keep it taxiing over here. Trying not to go too fast on the taxi because it is bouncy and bumpy. I don't want the tail to kick up. That's the E-flite Fw-190. I think I have it finally almost perfect on all my trims. And man, does it look nice, except for where I hit that parking block. Well, other than that, man, this thing is beautiful. I did not put the guns on this time. Just did not want to spend the time screwing them in, but they look great when they're on there. And I just needed to get a quick flight in just to check to make sure the push rod adjustment was good. And actually I need to adjust it. I should have marked it, but I need to go about halfway between where it was and where it is now. And what I'll do is I'll just get it. It was perfect right here, so I'll make sure I mark where the elevator is and then loosen it up and then center the servo and then tighten it back down. Man, the FW-190 flew great today. It's always a blast to fly off the grass. And man, this airplane, I love these old Warbirds in this size. Flying on the 6S power, they just perform beautiful. And I've said it a few times, I haven't done it. I've been messing around with family stuff and all that kind of thing, but I need to make a little block to keep the battery from being able to slide. And then other than that, I'll be super happy with this airplane. Guys, I appreciate all your support, and a big thanks to the Lord for a beautiful day to be out here flying on a Sunday. Hopefully you guys get to enjoy the Super Bowl. And for my friends out there, go Chiefs. And if you're a Philly fan, I hope you guys eat some cheesesteak. My dad was a Kansas City Chiefs fan, so go Chiefs. Until next time, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here.